Hi everyone, this is Julia Faith, Assistant Professor, Department of IT from S.A. Engineering College. Today I am going to discuss about the topic called Application Layer Protocols from the subject Computer Networks. Application layer is the topmost layer in the OSI and TCP/IP models. Application layer in the TCP/IP model is created by combining the first three layers, means the application layer, the presentation layer and the session layer. Next, in the second model called OSI model, this model is the closest model to the application layer. This is the closest model to the end user, means this layer is used to interact with the software applications. The main functions of application layers are: first application layer is identifying the communication partners. Second function is determining the resource availability. Third function is synchronizing communication. In this, we'll see the functions one by one. The first function is identifying the communication partners. Here, we have to identify the availability of the communication partners, and in the second one, determining the resource availability. In this one, we have to check whether the sufficient network resources are available for communication. And the third one is synchronizing communication. In this, we have to check whether the communication parties or the communication partners are in a synchronized mode. Next, we'll see the application layer protocol processing. Here, the application layer protocol defines how the application gets processed between the client and the server. Means the client and the server will be running in different systems, and here they'll pass some messages between the sender and the receiver. The main purpose of this application layer is to send the data, access the data and use the networks. And next one is the main usage of application layer is it makes the communication very easier, and also it allows the user to use the software programs. We are going to see the different types of protocols of application layer. The different types of protocols of application layer are used to establish a communication in faster, more efficient, reliable and in a secure manner. The different protocols are HTTP, DNS, FTP, TFTP, SMTP and SNMP. We'll see the protocols one by one. Here we are going to discuss only some of the protocols. The first protocol is called as Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Shortly it is called as HTTP. HTTP is mainly used to access the World Wide Web data. It is the main web's application protocol. And next one is, this one stores a repository of information which gets spreaded all over the world and linked together. This hypertext transfer protocol is used for transferring the data. The data can be in the form of text, images, audio and video. This HTTP uses TCP connections for sending and receiving the messages between the sender and the receiver. In HTTP, the messages will get transferred from the client to the server and from the server to the client. Here, the messages is of two types. One is the request message and another one is the response message. We'll see what is request message and what is response message. In the request message, this message gets transferred from the client to the server. This message contains request line, headers and sometimes it contains the body. We'll see the second message. The second message is response message, which is sent by the server. So the server will be sending the response to the client in the form of status line, headers and sometimes it contains the body. The next protocol we are going to discuss is about DNS. DNS is Domain Name System. This domain name system is a directory service which is used for mapping between the name of a host on the network and its numerical address. The main function of DNS is working of the internet, means functioning of the internet. This DNS is a service which translates the domain name into its IP address. This domain namespace is divided into 3 sections. The first section is country domain, second domain is generic domain, and the third domain is inverse domain. We'll see the first domain called generic domain. In this generic domain, the generic behavior of the registered host is defined. Means in this, the domain name will be the index to the DNS database. This has a 3-character labels. We'll see it. Here I have given certain examples for the labels. Those are com, edu and gov. Com is nothing but commercial organization, and edu is used for educational institution, and gov is used for government institutions. The second domain is country domain. In this country domain, the 2-character country abbreviations are used for giving the domain name. Example is, for United States, we are using the domain name as US. The third domain is called as inverse domain, which is used for mapping an address to a name. The third protocol we are going to discuss is about FTP. The full form for FTP is File Transfer Protocol. This protocol is mainly used for transferring the file from one host to the other host. For transferring the file from one host to the other host, we have to use connections between the client and the server. Here, 2 connections are established between the client and the server. Those 2 connections are called as data connection and control connection. We'll see what is data connection and what is control connection. So the 2 connections are control connection and data connection. Here, data connection is used for data transferring, and the control connection is used for getting the control informations. That is, it is used for getting the commands and responses. This is the mechanism used for transferring a file from the client to the server. Here the client sends the messages or transfer the file from the client to the server. So for establishing this connection, we are using a TCP/IP protocol. This TCP/IP protocol is used to transfer the file from one end to the other end. Here 2 connections are used. As I said earlier, we are going to use 2 connections. One is called data connection, which is used for data transferring, and the second connection is called as control connection, which is used to get control informations like commands and responses. The next protocol we are going to discuss is about SMTP. The full form is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This protocol is mainly used to transmit an electronic mail over the internet. This protocol is using the port number called 25, and it is used for mainly exchanging the messages between other computer users based on their email addresses. This is the working model of SMTP protocol. Here the user called the sender will be sending the email to the mail server with the help of a protocol called SMTP protocol, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. This protocol will be pushing the emails from the sender to the mail server, and after receiving the email in the mail server, it gets transferred to the receiver's mail server through the internet. And here also we are going to get the help of SMTP for transferring the data, or for transferring the messages from the sender to the receiver's mail server. Once it reaches to the receiver's mail server, the messages gets retrieved or it gets downloaded to the receiver with the help of a protocol called POP3 or IMAP protocol. we'll discuss what is POP3 protocol. The next protocol is POP3 protocol, or it is called as Post Office protocol. This protocol is mainly used in a combination with SMTP. So this protocol is used to receive and hold mail for the host. And the main function of this POP3 mail server is to receive emails and it filters them into the appropriate user folders. When a user connects to the mail server to retrieve this mail, the messages are get downloaded from the mail server to the user's hard disk. Now we'll move on to the question session. Question number 1 is about which of the following protocol is used for transferring electronic mail messages from one machine to the another machine. The options are Telnet, FTP, SNMP, and the last one is SMTP. We'll see Telnet is used for remote login purpose, FTP is used for transferring the file, and the third one, SNMP, is used for managing the network. The last one is used for transferring the mail from one end to the another end. So the answer for the first question is SMTP, because this one is used for transferring the electronic mail messages from one machine to another machine. We'll move on to the second question. The second question is which of the following protocol is used by the email server to maintain a central repository that can be accessed from any machine. So here we have to check with the options. The first option is POP3, second option is IMAP, and the third option is SMTP, fourth option is SNMP. Here we have to check the central repository. The central repository which is used for accessing the mails from any machine is IMAP. The full form for IMAP is Internet Message Access Protocol. Third question is, in one of the pairs of protocols given below, both the protocols can use multiple TCP connections between the same client and the server. Which one is that? Means in this question we are going to check multiple TCP connections used between same client and same server in which protocol, in which of the following pair of protocol. So the first pair is HTTP and FTP, second one is HTTP Telnet, third pair is FTP SMTP, fourth pair is HTTP and SMTP. As I already discussed, FTP uses two connections. Those two connections are data connection and control connection. So the option is HTTP and FTP. So answer A is the right answer for this question. We'll move on to the question number 4. Question number 4 is consider different activities related to email. So the different activities related to email is, the first activity is send an email from a mail client to a mail server. Second activity is download email from mailbox server to a mail client. Third activity is checking email in a web browser. In this question, we are going to apply the protocols for each activity in the same sequences. So we are going to check with the options. The options are SMTP, HTTPS, IMAP. Second option is SMTP, POP, IMAP. Third option is SMTP, IMAP, HTTPS. Fourth option is SMTP, IMAP and POP. So from all the options, the first answer is SMTP. So there is no doubt that we are going to use SMTP for sending an email from the mail client to the mail server. So for the first activity, we are going to use SMTP protocol. Then we'll move on to the second activity. The second activity is called download email from mailbox server to the mail client. So here, for downloading the email or for retrieving the email from the mailbox server to the mail client. So this is the activity. This activity is carried out by the protocol called POP protocol. POP is nothing but Post Office Protocol. Here SMTP protocol can also be called as a push protocol because it is pushing the mails from the sender to the mail server. So that's why it is called as pushing protocol. And POP protocol can also be called as pull protocol because it retrieves or download the email from the mailboxes. So the second activity's answer is POP. So from this option we can decide that the answer is B, SMTP, POP. The third option is IMAP, means the third activity is checking email in a web browser. For checking email in a web browser, we can use Internet Message Access Protocol, which is used to access the messages or mails from the mailboxes. The last question is, which of the following protocol pairs can be used to send and retrieve emails in that order? Means here the protocol pairs are used for sending and retrieving the emails. As we already discussed, for sending the email from the client to the mail server, for transferring the mail we are going to use SMTP. So the options can be B or C. So the second one is retrieving an email. Retrieving an email means downloading or retrieving the email from the mail server to the client. So for this, the option is POP3. So here the option is POP3. The answer is option B. SMTP is used for transferring the emails, and for retrieving the email we are using POP3 protocol. That's it. Hope you all have understood this video. See you all in the next video. Thank you.